Hi everyone, I'm Madhumita Mantri, product lead at Strategy. Strategy is an early stage startup in Bay Area building real-time analytics data platform and anomaly detection application built on top of it. I'm very excited for this self-hosted podcast with ChatGPT on from idea to launch building a ChatGPT powered application. ChatGPT is a powerful tool that can be used to build a variety of innovative applications. But what are the challenges and opportunities of building a ChatGPT powered application? Well, to answer that, in this AMA session, I'll share my lessons learned and advice for PMs, engineers, entrepreneurs, or anyone who is starting out to build a ChatGPT powered application. I will cover everything from finding ICP, which is ideal customer profile, to building MVP, to navigating the launch and go to market process. So before we dive in, while building something from scratch, all of us get these common questions. Those are, what are some of the challenges of building an AI powered or ChatGPT powered application? How to validate the idea for the application, how to find who is the ideal customer for this app, how to find the first few customers who will use this app, how to validate and build an MVP, and how to know that the app has achieved product market fit, and how to launch and go to market for the application. And last but not least, what are the rewards and challenges in building such apps? So let's dive in and take one question at a time and find the answers for it. To do so, as an example, I'm going to take an application and talk about each of these questions and answer them. So the example that I'm picking up today is a ChatGPT powered sales lead generation tool and building it from the scratch. So let's dive into the first question. What are some of the challenges of building a ChatGPT powered sales lead generation tool? One of the biggest challenges of building a ChatGPT powered sales lead generation tool is training the ChatGPT model to generate high quality personalized outreach messages. This requires a large and diverse data set of text and code, as well as a deep understanding of the sales process. Another challenge is ensuring that the tool is easy to use and scalable. It should be easy for sales professionals to learn how to use the tool to integrate it with their existing CRM system. The tool should also be able to handle a large number of users and requests. So this is a great answer to the question, and in context of building ChatGPT powered sales lead generation tool. You can apply the similar analogy for any ChatGPT powered applications that you are trying to build for. Some of the key takeaways from this question is, when you are building such app, things to remember or keep in mind is how to generate a high quality and personalized experience. Also, make sure you have a large and diverse data set that covers most of your use cases. And at the same time, for whichever use case and functional area you're building that application for, make sure you or somebody in your team have deep understanding of that process or that functional area. Also, when you're building an app, since it is user facing, make sure the end user who are using your app, it is easy for them to use, And if they have ecosystem of tools, it should be easily integrated with ecosystem of tools. And if there is a large number of requests and users to handle, then make sure your solution is scalable. Easily it can scale. So these are the key takeaways from this particular question. Now let's take up the second question. What are some tips for validating the idea for a ChatGPT powered sales lead generation tool? So, here are some tips for validating the idea for a ChatGPT powered sales lead generation tool. However, you can also apply these tips for any ChatGPT powered application that you are considering to build or you're building. So the first thing is conduct interviews with potential users to understand their needs and pain points. So it's typical jobs to be done framework. However, you are talking to the people and like mostly listening to them, what are their needs and pain points, and capturing that. Second is build a landing page and collect email addresses from these potential users to validate their interest in the product as quickly as possible. Now you can run a crowdfunding campaign to see if there's a demand for the product in the first place. Before you build out, you need to do all of these to validate your idea that there is a need and there's a pain point and it's going to solve that specific pain point and meet that need. And then you can develop a prototype of the tool and test it with a very small group of beta users to get their early on feedback and incorporate and improve your product. So now the similar thing you can apply to any ChatGPT powered applications that you are building, and same tips are applied to validate an idea that you have. Now let's dive in to this question. How can I identify my ideal customer profile for a ChatGPT powered sales lead generation tool? So I'll talk in this particular example, but there are key aspects that can be applied to any ChatGPT powered application that you are trying to build for. So now, what are the key factors that you are going to consider while looking for ideal customer profile? Is first thing is industry. What industries are most likely to be benefited from using ChatGPT powered application? In this case, the example in the equation is ChatGPT powered sales lead generation tool. So in the industries are pretty much every industry who has a CRM process involved that definitely need a ChatGPT powered sales lead generation tool. Now second is size. What size businesses are most likely to be able to afford and use a ChatGPT powered sales lead generation tool? Now, the company size can vary. It starts from a startup or a small scale business to enterprise scale businesses, and who have a lot of money to spend on a software is definitely enterprises. However, enterprise also have enough engineers who can build their in-house tools. So in that case, like build versus buy kind of question comes. So you need to be very clear in head, like what is the differentiated features you will build for one of these segments where you can stand out and feel valuable to that particular segment. So that's why it is very, very important to know which size of the company you're going to serve for and make sure you're focused on that. Third is the location. So where are your target customers located? Are they located? Which channel they are located? So that you have to make sure you are building a solution that caters that specific need and the users in that particular channel. As an example, are these users are mobile users or desktop users, or geographic location wise, are these users are in United States or they are spread across the world or in APAC? You need to figure that out and then make sure you're building that experience for that target users, because ultimately the user matters. Whatever you are building, it should meet their needs. Now, this is an important as a factor that you need to consider are the pain points. What are the biggest, in this example, since I'm talking about sales lead generation tool, what are the biggest sales challenges faced by target customers is something that should be the focus of pain points. Similarly, whatever application you are building and what problem it is trying to solve, so you need to look at what are the challenges that are being faced in that particular area by your target audience or target users that you're targeting for. Next is budget. How much are the target customers or users are willing to spend on your application? So in this case, ChatGPT powered sales lead generation tool. However, whatever application you're using or going to build, you're building or going to build, you need to consider also that the willingness to pay. So this is a good way to find out who is the ideal customer profile after answering these questions. So there's always not one straightforward answer to this, but you have to look at several factors to define who is your ideal customer profile. Now let's dive into another questions. Once we answer the ideal customer profile, now the question comes to many of us, how to acquire that first few customers, right? How to find and win my first 10 customers for a ChatGPT powered application. In this example, I'm picking up the ChatGPT powered sales lead generation tool. So what I will do is reach out to potential customers directly through email or LinkedIn, because now you know who is your ideal customer profile that looks like. So you can directly reach out to those customer profiles on LinkedIn, or if you're collecting emails through your website to validate your idea and people have signed up, you can also email them and reach out to them. Further to it, you can also, in the similar area, like for sales lead generation tool especially, there's Dreamforce, which is organized by Salesforce. That's an yearly event, and a lot of people get together there. A lot of businesses are there, a lot of engineers, developers from various backgrounds are present there. So you should attend those industry events, meetups, and find out who are your potential customers or users willing to use your product. Now, another thing you could do is run targeted ads on Google and other social media platforms. You can also create a lot of content, which is your top of the funnel content, and see how people are reacting to your content, what interest they are showing. That way you can understand the demand. You can also run surveys with your target audience and see what is their interest. Surveys are not usually very helpful because not many people tend to answer. It might be consist of bias, but it's another signal for sure you can look at, and then based on that you can also find few customers or users who would like to use your product. Now the another option or another way you can also find people is offer free trials or demos of the tool. So then people who are interested in your tool or product, they'll sign up and they'll reach out, and then you can do free trial demos for them. And provide, last but not least, this actually is very, very helpful, is provide excellent customer service and support. People usually try to stick to products which has a strong customer service and support. So it's very, very vital in that way. So now that we know what are some of the challenges involved, how to come up with an idea and validate an idea, and once you validate your idea, who is your ideal customer profile, and once you know that, like how you will find your first few customers, so we have also learned about that. Now let's dive into the how space. So how you will build the MVP in and then make it usable by the users, and the MVP could be in the like at a high level, like the system design, what are the functional and non-functional aspects you should look into, and how you can do all of that in a guided and unique framework. So that's what I'm going to talk about. So in this context, again, my example is ChatGPT powered sales lead generation tool, but this applies to any ChatGPT powered application that you are building or thinking to build. So first thing, while building an MVP, designing it and looking at functional, non-functional aspects, everything, the first step is to define the problem. Define why, right? The problem that the ChatGPT powered sales lead generation tool is solving here in this case is to help sales professionals identify, qualify, and reach out to potential leads. Now, the problem most of the sales professionals face in this space is identify, qualifying, and reach out to those potential sales leads, and that's always a big problem, and it's time consuming, and getting the quality leads is extremely hard, everyone knows. And in this case, ChatGPT powered sales lead generation tool is trying to solve this specific problem. So now that we are aware of the problem, now let's define some of the functional requirements for this. The functional requirements for this tool will be ability to understand and identify potential leads based on a variety of criteria such as an industry, location, company size. Those are the factors we went over as well while finding ideal customer profile. Ability to qualify sales leads based on their interest in the product or service, willingness to pay. Generate personalized outreach messages for each sales lead. That personal touch is always needed for any kind of sales related conversations. And track the results of these outreach campaign, how they are performing, which campaign is performing well versus not. So these are the functional requirements for building a ChatGPT powered sales lead generation tool or an app. Now let's talk about what are the non-functional requirements of this app. So those includes easy to use. That's the first thing. You need to remove the barriers for entry of using a product. So make it really frictionless and easy to use. Another big factor is security, like how secure is this app. And third but not the least is how scalable, like how easily it can scale. So now once we know the functional and non-functional requirement for this app, in order to build this app, we will have to estimate the amount of data it will handle so that we can come up with a high level system design in terms of what are the APIs, data models, how it's going to handle this large data volume, all of that can be figured out. So to estimate the amount of data the app will need to store and process will depend on the number of users and number of sales leads that the tool is going to track. However, one should plan for the app to be able to handle a large amount of data. You can always start with a sample, but imagine like it is going to grow, it has to scale easily, so always prepared for that. Now, once you have that information, you will dive into building a high-level system design. So the high-level system design for an app like this will include a database to store all the sales lead data. Similarly, if you are building an app, whatever is your app, that data needs to be generated or used. You need to have a database to store that. A ChatGPT model to generate personalized outreach messages. So you need to build a model or select a ChatGPT model for that. And then an API to allow users to integrate with their tools, such as in this case, their CRM tools. So these are the important aspects of a high-level system design you should consider while building an app like this. Now, the next one is designing the APIs, because interface or the user experience starts with APIs primarily, and then comes the UI, like the more of like interactive UI, but the basis of that is API. So the API should allow users to perform the following actions. First is get a list of sales leads. So you should be able to read, you should be able to qualify a sales lead. So there's some algorithm involved there. Generate an outreach message for a sales lead. So it is going to produce or have some output, and then it should be able to track results of an outreach campaign and store it in a place. So these are different types of APIs you need to have while building a product or an app like this. Now, once you have the API requirements, now you need to think about the data model that to store the following information about sales lead. Similarly, you can think about data model for your app or product, what information it is going to store. So in this case, the example, the data model will have name, company, email address, phone number, industry, location, interest in product or service, qualification status, outreach history. Now, one thing to remember when you are designing the data model, make sure also that you have a data model for obfuscated data to take care of the privacy, like such as email, phone number, etc. If there are also more of financial transaction related information stored as well, you mask or obfuscate that before a broad group of users are able to use that information data to either build a ChatGPT application, powered application, or even to draw insights from it. So that's why security and governance is a very critical aspect while building such large scale systems and data modeling and all. So once now we covered like high level system design, API, data model, let's deep dive into the design. So once you have the high level design, you need to deep dive into each component and design it in detail. This includes designing the database schema, the ChatGPT model, APIs, as trade-offs as well, which is important. So when designing the system, you need to assess trade-offs between different design choices. For example, one will need to decide whether to use a relational or non-relational database, and whether to distribute the system or not. So these are a couple of critical elements you need to figure out while designing your product or app. Now, once you have figured that out, you need to think about what are the bottlenecks and what are the scalability aspect you need to consider. So you need to identify potential bottlenecks and plan for scalability accordingly. For example, if you need to make sure that the database can handle a large number of concurrent requests, then you need to make sure that ChatGPT model can generate responses quickly enough. So now that we looked at the high level system design, how to build an MVP. So from that you can build an MVP quickly. And once you have that, now you need to find the product market fit for the ChatGPT powered app. In this example, I'll be again covering the sales lead generation tool. But that's the step which is very, very vital before you scale your product. Prematurely scaling the product doesn't help. It is unnecessarily a waste of money and effort, and especially very expensive if you are a part of a startup. So, or starting this for the first time, or you are the solopreneur doing this. In any case, reaching product market fit is extremely, extremely important. However, it's a journey. You won't be able to get it in the first time right, but make sure you are on the right path and making every efforts to get there. So product market fit is the place when it is more like from most valuable product to most likable product that your customers are liking, who cannot live without the product. And that's when you know that it has achieved product market fit. So to find that, you need to talk to customers and understand their needs. That is the first thing you need to do. You need to track the metrics such as customer acquisition cost, lifetime value, churn rate. All of these you need to deeply understand, like how quickly you're able to acquire a customer, what is their longevity looks like, how quickly they're churning, or what are the factors that is contributing to that. Once you have a good understanding of the customer's metrics, then you can start to make changes to the product and the marketing strategy to improve product market fit further. So I hope you are finding this useful so far. Based on my experience, I found getting to product market fit is a journey. You have to constantly learn and unlearn and adapt to new things and act on it very quickly, and always have a goal for exit criteria and build your success plan, how to get there and make every possible effort there, and learn quickly, fail faster, and if some hypothesis is not working, have multiple hypotheses, find a way to quickly validate your hypothesis before it is too far out. Now, once you figured out your product has reached product market fit, now next thing is how to launch and go to market for a product which is the ChatGPT powered product. So in this case, I am building the ChatGPT Power Sales Lead Generation tool from scratch. So I have the MVP ready. I also found out that it is now have its own product market fit based on my customer research and looking at different signals. And now I want to launch it and take it to go to market. So what are the tips for doing so? So first, I'll build a website explaining what this product is about, what are its benefits, what are the features it has. It should include a landing page where potential customers can sign up for free trial or demo. Then I'll create marketing materials such as blog post, case studies, infographics to generate interest in the tool. I'll run also some paid advertising campaigns on Google, LinkedIn, and other platforms to reach the right target audience. And I will also attend industry events, meetups to network with potential customers and partners. I'll also showcase the work we are doing so that we get the targeted customers or users come to us. Then we can also offer referral programs which will incentivize the customers to promote the tool to their network. So this is the thing that I will usually follow for launching and going to go to market of a product which is like ChatGPT powered product. The challenges, especially with ChatGPT powered product or application, is in addition to all these, you also need to know how expensive it will be to run such an app. So that's very, very important. When you start small, it looks all easy, but when you scale, it's a completely different game. It's completely a different experience because the same data that would have worked before will no longer work because models are not very adaptive to growing data plus constantly changing data. So you have to continuously retrain the model and transform it to meet or catch up with the changing data and the growth of the data. So those are some of the challenges with taking or launching ChatGPT powered sales lead tools. Another sales lead generation tool. Another is security is a big aspect to make sure there's no data leakage. You're not exposing any PII information. So all these things also is extremely important. And last but not the least, ChatGPT is also using some large language model which is pre-built, and there's a lot of bias get involved. So um, while using this tool, so make sure you have a validation strict validation process in place to uncover the bias, and make sure there are different actions taken care of it, like for example bringing in a diverse data set to train your model, even though you start small. And also make sure that you have functional expertise, different SMEs also looking at it, so diverse perspectives are already covered or included. So these are some of the important aspect. And also legal will be your best partner if you're trying to launch a ChatGPT powered sales lead generation tool, because sometimes when you are delivering something AI powered, then you have to make sure like the rules and regulation or any regulatory act out in there, that's being addressed. So that's where the legal department comes out to be very resourceful. Now, once you figured out how to scale and scale your platform, how to grow your platform, so for that, you can do different things. To grow your platform, you can invest in marketing and sales effort. Continue to invest in marketing and sales to reach new customers, grow the pipeline, to constantly do that. Expand the product into new markets such as new industry or new geographic regions, and develop new features. Also stay always competitive and have your unique feature being differentiated. Always keep up with the tech trend changes. Integrate to make the tool more valuable to the users and customers. And you can also build a strong partner network, such as in this example, lead generation tool example, CRM providers and marketing automation platforms that can promote your product to their customers and users. So this is also a great way of growth engine. Now that we talked about how to come up with an idea, to validate an idea, how to first find those 10 or few customers to use your product, how you know you have achieved product market fit, diving deep into building your first MVP, high level design, then working towards product market fit, and then you have reach your product market fit. Now you have to take certain things, take care of certain things like launching and go to market of the application. Once you do all of that, you will realize that all these things easier said than done. So it's going to be a challenging journey, and also at the same time it's rewarding as well. So now let's deep dive into what are the rewards of building a ChatGPT powered product from scratch, and what are the challenges involved. So the rewards are creating a product that solves a real problem for businesses. In this case, given I'm taking ChatGPT powered sales lead generation tool, so it's actually solving a real problem for business. So it's very fulfilling that way. Similarly, the application or product you are building, you should have a clear understanding of what it is solving, what real problem it is solving, for whom. It's very important so that they can do XYZ. So I think that whole experience enabling that, it's very rewarding. And second is helping business to grow their sales. In this example, like how it is bringing in the impact knowing that it's also very, very rewarding when you achieve that. And you're also building a successful business and learning and growing as an entrepreneur by building a product like this. So that's also a very rewarding experience. Now that we know everything about what makes it very rewarding, now let's dive into some of the challenges involved. So, developing a high quality ChatGPT model is extremely challenging, expensive, time consuming. So, you need to be aware of that. When you're starting small, everything will look small and easy, but do not lose sight of your far future when you have to scale, meet various user needs, and that's when it start to become a challenge, when you're limiting yourself to scale and also maintaining that high quality that you would have achieved in the earlier days. So these are some of the challenges. In addition, if you're not building an user friendly and easily integrable product, then that will be a severe limitation as well, and it will take a while for your product to be valuable to the user, even though it has great capabilities and solutions present. And another big challenge I have experienced is acquiring and retaining the customers and users. That's not an easy job at all. And especially ChatGPT powered applications also are so somewhat technically involved. So there is a literacy gap people have, which is of course closing right now slowly, but that challenge is also there, that comes on the way to acquire and retain users or customers. And last but not least, you are also competing with your competitors. So ChatGPT powered sales lead generation tool is competing with other sales lead generation tools which might be doing a better job than a ChatGPT powered sales lead generation. So you need to make sure that you're also taking care of some of these challenges. So, despite these challenges, the rewards of building a successful ChatGPT powered product are significant. And if you have the right skills and the passion, I will highly encourage you to pursue this opportunity, and hope the insights that I've shared in this session you find it useful, valuable, and actionable. So I hope this is going to help with kickstart your journey, and wish you all the best and good luck in your 0 to 1 product journey that is coming ahead, and hope you are able to embrace the highs and lows and navigate through this rewarding plus challenging experience. So, thank you for listening to my podcast today, and hope to find you as a listener in my future podcast. So, thank you.